Station, Manx Radio.
A very good evening to you on Manx Radio. Welcome to day 5 of competition at the 2022 Commonwealth Games. We are here with Today at the Games this evening, and I'm joined as ever by Elliot Turnbull and William King. Good evening to you both.
Good evening, Rob Pritchard. How are you doing?
Very good. However, I think I have to make a confession. I think I'm hypnotised.
What's going on, Rob?
I'm currently staring into the big glowing red eyes of a mechanical bull here in Centenary Square.
Yeah, the bull from the opening ceremony. It's been moved here, and it is indeed where so many people, how many people would you estimate are in the square right now?
Oh, it's a good 1,000 or so. It's a giant robotic mechanical bull with like beaming red eyes, and it's just started spewing some lovely smoke out of its nostrils. So Rob, we might have to move. I'm not too sure.
We could do. I'm not going to ask him any questions about the recent changes in prices to Manx milk. I think that might tip him over the edge. But anyway, it's been yet another jam-packed day here at the Games in Birmingham, and it's been a big 24 hours at the Sandwell Aquatics Centre. And also today, we've been getting a different perspective on the Games today as part of, well, coverage as a whole, and it's been interesting to hear some other insights from other areas as well. But before we get into today's action, let's take a look at what happened last night. William.
And if we go back exactly 24 hours, about this time yesterday, we were joined live by swimming coach Lee Holland, who sounded pretty confident.
They know how to swim 200 metres and they are going to do a fantastic job. I don't want to tempt fate, but I think there's an Ireland record on the cards tonight.
Yes, that was Lee Holland speaking ahead of the men's 4x200 metre relay team, who were given a pass straight through to the final for their race. They did it last night. They broke the Ireland record by around 23 seconds, taking it from 8 minutes 6.38 seconds to 7 minutes 43.7 seconds. Harry Robinson and Joel Watterson are on the team.
For me, I'm definitely not a 200 swimmer, but it was just an experience, and I'm really happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's hard going out with, you got Canada on your right, South Africa on your left, Ireland man in the middle. Yeah, it's crazy, to be honest. But just to be in part of an experience like that is something else.
And last night we also saw a whopping swim from Laura Kinley in the women's 100 metre breaststroke. That was her second semi-final swim of the week. She swam a time of 1 minute 10.7 seconds in touching distance of her own Manx record.
No, I am pleased with that swim. It was a hard swim really, but you know, I went out there and gave it everything I had, so that's all I can do really. So back in the morning for the relay with the team as well now.
And it was a late night at the pool last night, but an enjoyable one, Rob.
Absolutely it was, and just another marker in the new chapter for, I think, Manx swimming as well. We've seen it throughout the last few days, haven't we? We've seen Isle of Man records broken, we've seen personal bests beaten by pretty much every member of that team. I think it's been, and it's just real testament to the quality in the squad, isn't it?
And it was great having Lee Holland on the show last night, and you just sort of listen to the way he and all the athletes speak, and it does sound like they're all friends. There's such unity between all the swimmers, and we've just seen them go from strength to strength, and each time we seem to report on the swimmers, there's a new Ireland record, there's a new personal best, and it's just so great to see so many people clearly enjoying their sport.
Indeed, we sound a bit like a broken record, going over the same lines over again.
Dear me.
Laura was back in the pool this morning. As she said, the mixed medley relay team, they knocked 21.3 seconds off the Manx record for the 4x100 metre mixed medley relay. So that's one length of backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly and freestyle. And until this morning it had stood at 4 minutes 26.29 seconds. It now stands at 4 minutes 4.59 seconds. After the race they spoke to me.
Yeah, feels great. We knew it was one that we could take, but it was just a case of how much we could take off it. Obviously myself and Emma just raced, so we're still feeling them 50s. But yeah, we still gave it everything we could. I think everyone did. And yeah, 4:04 is definitely not a bad time. It'll put us on the borderline to final. We're just watching the rest of the race now, so I'm not sure yet.
How was your leg, Laura?
Yeah, no, I mean, I still feel quite tired from last night. It was quite a late night by the time I got back. Food, rest came down from it, but yeah, it was went out as hard as I could and then tried to hang on. So I think the split was similar to what I did last night, which I'm pleased with. So, I mean, it's just great to be out with all the guys, racing in a relay. I mean, this is my first one of the games this time, so it's just great to be out with them all together. It's just a little bit more special than I guess doing it individually as well.
Peter, how does it feel having your name in the Manx record books so much after this week?
Yeah, it's a nice feeling. Obviously, that's what we all aim for. But yeah, like swimming with everyone here is such a fun time, as I've said a couple of times now. But yeah, I can't really complain being in the record books.
Fantastic. I just think that's your last race of the games, I think. Is that right? How have you found the experience?
Yeah, it's definitely, you learn a lot. I think it's it's the biggest thing I've ever done. Major games, highest level of competition with the Isle of Man, you know. So, you know, it's one of those, you learn a lot, you find out a lot about yourself and other people, and how to kind of execute the races you want during such a big thing. And you know, I'll take a lot out of this. Like, it's gonna be such a useful experience. Yeah.
There we go, Peter Allen there, finishing off the conversation I had with the relay team after they swam this morning. It's hard to think that was this morning. There has been so much swimming going on. It's just all mixed into one in my head.
So much swimming, but you see them out in the medley relay and they're just going full speed, giving it their absolute everything. You forget that about an hour and a half earlier, I mean, Emma Hodgson and Joel Watson were both there in their personal heats, flying as well, setting their personal records, and just, I had no idea how they have the stamina to go again and again and keep performing at these high levels, William.
Indeed. You mentioned those two there. Let's speak about them. Joel broke his own Manx record by 0.01 of a second.
Wow, talk about fine margins.
In the men's 100 metre freestyle, that time now stands at 23.2 seconds, coming down from 23.21 seconds. And in the women's 50 metre backstroke, as you've mentioned, Emma Hodgson swam a time of 30.2 seconds, taking 0.4 off Niamh Robinson's record for the distance. I spoke to Emma after her swim.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, it's my last day of racing. I just wanted to go out there and smash it, and I had the best time. And to get, records is just an absolute bonus. Yeah, I'm so happy.
Do you know Niamh Robinson?
Yes, very well, yeah.
Does she like you?
Well, she actually, the other day after my 100 back, she gave me a phone call to say well done, so how nice is that? Yeah, very nice, yeah.
You're tearing up all of her Manx records, though.
I know, I do feel a bit bad, but she's so nice. She would never say anything about that, yeah.
Fantastic. And what was that relay like? You had the first leg of it. What's that like going in first?
Scary, but it's exciting, because then I can get out and watch the others. I mean, it was a really tough race after the 50, but I really enjoyed it, yeah.
Fantastic. What was that turnaround like? It seemed pretty quick. You didn't have long, did you?
No, not long at all. That's my first, quick turnaround. I've only had one event each day. I mean, it was really tough, but that's what we train for, and although it was hard, it was fun. Yeah.
So what's next for you, Emma, after 2022 Birmingham?
I mean, next year I'm just going to focus on my degree and then hopefully go again for it in the next 4 years' time. Yeah, and Island Games hopefully next year as well.
Emma Hodgson there, and I have to say I've really enjoyed spending so much time with the swimming team already this week, and I'm really sad it's going to be our last day at the Aquatics Centre tomorrow. I think the swimming team are up on cloud 9 at the minute. They've had a great time. I want to join them up there, but I'm going to need quite a bit of flotation power to get there.
And quite a lot of training as well, William, I'm sure.
I'm not saying I want to be in the pool. I think that's probably a little ahead, a little over-ambitious.
Brilliant question. Do you know Niamh Robinson? Does she like you?
Yeah, well, I think that speaks volumes, doesn't it? The whole island swimming team and community is really tight.
But didn't she mention as well, immediately after breaking her record, didn't she receive a phone call in the night or so? Very sweet to hear that there's still that support going through with the athletes.
Absolutely. The swimmers from previous years love seeing the young ones progressing, doing well, don't they?
Absolutely, and I think it's fair that we also give a huge amount of credit, looking at Team Isle of Man, to the likes of Lee and Rosemary in the camp and also Ruth Cool as well and her team playing such an important role, because we've talked about, haven't we, William? You just touched on it before. The intensity of this schedule has just been absolutely relentless. We've touched on it a few times, but no matter what's happened, they're still pushing those limits to set those personal bests, those Isle of Man records, and they're still going out there in peak condition as well. That is absolutely huge credit to Lee, Rosemary, Ruth and everyone else behind them for keeping them in that condition. It's just been a fantastic effort all round from the Aquatics team.
Indeed. Lee and Rosemary, we should say the coaches, the support team, and Ruth Cool and the folks are the physios supporting. And if you want to hear from Ruth, there's a great video on our Facebook and YouTube pages.
And you do hear after most races, everyone says, what are you going to do? How are you going to recover? Everyone's saying, I'm going to go and have a massage, I'm going to go and, yeah, I don't know how they've done it, but no injuries, no one really flagging or having any major fatigue. It's been great to see, so what an achievement from the swim team.
Really, really good point. Now, we've talked a lot about Team Isle of Man. Of course, it's Manx Radio. That's what we're here for. But, as you may be able to hear, we're stood in Centenary Square in Birmingham. There are a lot of languages going on around us. We are surrounded by people from across the Commonwealth and the rest of the world, let's face it.
Lots of flags as well, which Rob Pritchard is very good at naming.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can see a flag now to get you to name, Rob. Anyway, we'll try that later. Maybe on the socials.
Maybe not over radio.
Well, it makes me want to get to know a little bit more about some of the other nations involved in the Commonwealth, and we're going to try and do that over the next few days. We're going to start close to home, though, and probably the nations we can compare ourselves up against most are the fellow Crown dependencies, Jersey and Guernsey. I spoke to BBC Channel Islands reporter Marie Rain.
Really well, actually. So even just in the swimming, lots of island records have been broken. So one swimmer had broken 3 on her own. So really kind of setting the bar for future athletes as well.
What I'm really interested in is how the things compare. So how many athletes have we got from the likes of Jersey and Guernsey?
I think we've got 55 from Jersey, which is the bigger of the islands, and we've got around 33 from Guernsey. So yeah, quite a big team actually.
And here at the swimming, I've noticed quite a lot of Channel Islanders making it through to semi-finals, through to finals as well. It seems they've got a great sporting setup there.
Yeah, they really seem to be punching above their weight in the swimming particularly, and really pleased to be making those finals. And although they're not expecting to medal in these events, they're really doing themselves proud.
Do they have 50-metre swimming pools on Jersey or Guernsey?
No, we don't have many swimming pools at all, actually. So I think we've got 2 public pools in Jersey and just the one in Guernsey. Obviously, some hotels have leisure centres that you can pay privately to be part of. But yeah, those are the main pools.
And one final question, what are the other sports that the Channel Islands are looking at through the week where they might see some successes?
Well, we've had success in the lawn bowls already, so we have got a medal there thanks to Lucy Beer, which is fantastic. So lawn bowl certainly. Boxing, we could pick up another medal as well. We're also being represented, as you know, the swimming, athletics, gymnastics, mountain biking, badminton, so plenty going on.
BBC Channel Islands reporter Marie Rain there, and we'll try and catch up with another nation from the Commonwealth a little bit later in the week.
And talking of the Commonwealth, 72 countries in total are competing here in Birmingham. They're bringing more than 5,000 athletes, and in order to accommodate those, to help them, house them, you need an army of volunteers. Now, aside from the athletes, we've also got over 1.3 million people watching the games here. They've sold out for most events, and these spectators also need help with directions, finding their seats, and so on. You know the drill. And this isn't even mentioned the press yet. I've been mentioning the support teams and sponsors. The list goes on. It's a massive logistical task here in Birmingham. Luckily though, we have more than 13,000 volunteers. And guys, I don't know what you think so far. Whenever we've come up with volunteers in the press section, wherever we are, they've been so friendly and so helpful.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think, it's sometimes a job, I think, that goes unnoticed maybe to some fans and maybe to some athletes, but certainly from our perspective and who we've come across over the last few days, I mean, the help that we've received as broadcasters.
So friendly as well.
So friendly, so accommodating, and it just makes everyone's lives easier. And it's important, absolutely vital, that these volunteers who are giving up their own time to be part of this and to make sure that these games happen get the credit they deserve. They do an absolutely excellent job.
Now, at one of the events earlier on this week, I was lucky enough to speak to someone who has played a very important role in organising all these volunteers. Paul Davies helps out in the media mix zone, so basically where we do all our interviews post-event. Now, he's also got a special relationship with the island. His first wife was Manx, he got married on the island, comes every year, and when he saw my Manx Radio microphone, he wanted to tell me how much the island meant to him.
I have lots of family connections to the Isle of Man. My first wife was from Douglas, and very frequent visitor. So still, arriving at Sutton Park this morning and seeing the Isle of Man flag flying proudly. Still gives me that little bit of a flutter of pride, and thinking that actually, with the population of the island being as it is, that there are a couple of athletes here who are really serious contenders is absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
Now, he was responsible for interviewing and sorting out this army of volunteers. He explained the process to me.
Our job was to interview about 24,000 people. That was from 40,000 who applied online. And from that 24,000, every single person had a 20-minute interview. We each sensed their aptitudes. We looked at those things they might be best suited for. Sadly, 10,000 didn't get through, but there are 14,000 that were selected, and they're working all over Birmingham.
And yeah, it's been great to have all these volunteers. It's been brilliant. They've helped the games. And I don't know about you, Rob, I think everything's gone so smoothly here, as well as the friendliness.
Yeah, they've really got a tight-knit operation, haven't they? Not just on the media side, but in terms of making sure, like you've mentioned, fans can get to their seats and get around on the public transport here. The public transport network here is vast and extremely efficient as well. There are so many different aspects to putting on an event of this magnitude, and it doesn't happen without those committed people behind it. It's brilliant.
Nothing but respect at all. We've had a busy day today with being in the pool, but you've also been busy out getting ahead and getting prepared for tomorrow. What have we got in store?
Absolutely. Well, we'll look to tomorrow, and Team Isle of Man will be hoping to make its mark on the badminton here at the Commonwealth Games. Jessica Lee will face Zambia's Elizabeth Chipolemi in the women's singles round of 64 at the NEC tomorrow from around 5:30 p.m. Jessica represented the island at the Games on the Gold Coast in 2018, but sadly had to withdraw back then after picking up an ankle injury. Well, she's back and ready to go in Birmingham. I caught up with her today to find out how preparations have been going ahead of her match.
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been really exciting sort of seeing the build-up as more people arrive and sort of the hotel gets a bit more busy and you get to see athletes from different nations come in. So yeah, it's been really exciting seeing that build-up.
It's great to see you obviously being selected to represent the Isle of Man. What did that feel like when you found out you'd been selected to join the team?
Oh, so excited. It's obviously such a huge honour to represent the Isle of Man, and yeah, second Commonwealth Games is amazing.
And the fact that you've had a few days to prepare, has that been good for you, being able to just train and find your own rhythm before you actually head out there in the competition?
Yeah, I think so. It's been sort of nice to get used to the surroundings before having to play. So yeah, definitely good.
And from you're obviously staying with other athletes, as you've mentioned as well. What's the mood like been in the village? We're hearing it's been really positive and really good this time around.
Yeah, it's been interesting because it's sort of more by sport rather than like by whole village. So like all the sports that are based in the NEC, most of those athletes are over there. So people have been sort of in and out of competition. You can see the ones that are like competing that day in dining and things are getting themselves ready. So yeah, it's been really exciting seeing just the build up of everything.
And of course you know who your opponent is, Elizabeth Chipolemi of Zambia as well. Do you know much about your opponent?
No, not really. We've seen Zambia in the team event in the first few days. So, but yeah, other than that, not much.
I suppose though, if you don't know too much about it, it just allows you to focus on your own game as well and enjoy it, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly. I think a key thing for me is just making sure that I have the right preparation, and I feel good and can't wait to get out there and sort of leave everything out there on the court.
For you here in Birmingham, what would you count as success, whether in terms of results or just in general?
I think just sort of playing my game and doing everything that I can, knowing that I've come off and I couldn't have done anything more would be the position that I want to be in.
Jessica Lee there ahead of her match tomorrow, and I did actually have a conversation as well with her coach and brother, in fact, Benjamin Lee, and they were saying that one of the reasons they were able to get preparations underway early is that they actually had a chance to go out on the courts as well before the opening ceremony just to get used to the surface. I'm sure you probably want to make sure that once you're running about on such a small court, it doesn't feel like a quagmire to yourself when you're trying to get round at speed. But anyway, coming up on Thursday, it's back to the boxing ring, and we found out that Jay Burden will face English #1 Gemma Richardson this week. Through the look of the draw, Jay got herself a bye to the quarterfinals, and her first bout is on Thursday, as mentioned. And here is her coach, Peter Roberts.
We're feeling good, Rob. We're feeling good. We know we're under no illusions at all about the task ahead. We know what Gemma's all about. 2018 World Gold Medalist, 2019 European Gold Medalist. She performed very, very well last night, although I thought the Scottish girl really didn't give her much of a test. I think Jade will give her a much better test than the Scottish girl did. I just thought she held her feet a little bit too long, didn't get her shots off. Jade's really up for this, and it's a free hit for us. You know, with the Isle of Man, we're not expected to do anything. We are the outsiders, and I think she'll get a shock when Jade turns up.
You said it there, it's a free hit. Jade said there is no pressure on. You can just go out and enjoy this occasion in this sensational arena, can't you?
100%. Saying that, we're well prepared. We are well prepared for this. Jade's come. You know, you just got to look at Jade's story. 2017 was her first bout. Less than 5 years later, she's boxed on one of the biggest stages you'll ever box on, representing her country against one of the best girls in it, in England versus the Isle of Man, in the quarter-finals of the Commonwealth Games. Just let that sink in for a little bit. Now, Jade's got a little bit of self-belief. She's got more self-belief than I've seen in the gym for a long time, and you won't have to tell her to go forward and get the shots off, and she will do.
And we saw as well when Jamie was in here in his bout, there's some great Isle of Man support in there as well for him. Do you expect the same for Jade when she steps out?
100%. Listen, the Manx Republic get behind their athletes, and they've been brilliant. Phone hasn't stopped, text messages. We've stopped people. Jade got paparazzi the other day going through town because she had an Isle of Man vest on, and it's brilliant. She's really soaking it in. Let's just hope she can take what she's got there in now there. As I said, free shot. I think the English girl might get a shock on Thursday. I really do.
And from a coaching perspective, we've spoken to Jade obviously about having to wait a few more days after having that ban. I know Jade said it was maybe a little frustrating after the draw not to get straight into it. From a coaching side of things, how have you managed to get around that in terms of preparation to keep her on the right level for a few days before she does actually get in the ring?
Yeah, quite right, Rob. It's a little bit long-winded sometimes. We've been here now 5 days, 6 days it'll be before she boxes. Just trying to freshen things up a little bit when we go to training schedule. We had a tough one yesterday. Put her through her paces yesterday, and today, this morning, we're up early. Worked on some tactics and that there, and just trying to keep more a mind focused than anything else now. The body's 100%. She's in great condition. She's bang on weight this morning. There's no worries with that at all. It's just getting that upstairs switched on and look at the task ahead we've got to do.
That's Jade Burden. That's not Jade Burden, sorry, that's Peter Roberts. Jade Burden's coach. Talking about Jade Burden there, who will have her first boxing bout on Thursday of the Games. And Jade Burden, as we know, earlier this week celebrated her birthday. Happy birthday to Jade.
Happy birthday.
And Jade's not the only member of Team Isle of Man to have a birthday this week. We know Ruth Cool, the support physio, had her birthday. Was that yesterday, day before? It was very recently anyway. The days all merge into one after a while. And on Saturday, the day before the road race for the cyclist, Anna Christian's birthday. So she'll be another year older when she rides in the road race.
Birthday cake, carb overload, brilliant excuse to have a lot of fun.
That's a lot of cake for someone to buy in the Team Isle of Man camp, I think it is, over the next few days.
And Peter mentioned getting paparazzi'd for wearing a Manx vest there. And standing here next to the bull in Centenary Square, I can safely say we've had a few people come over and see us because we've got our Manx Radio microphones.
See us, they're here to see you.
Well, we'll give a shout out to John, Joe, Tom and Martha for coming past and saying hello as well. Yes, it's been great. We're really enjoying being here, and we're here all week.
Absolutely. Well, William and Elliot, pleasure as always. That's it for today at the Games today. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow, 6 p.m. So just a reminder of who from Team Isle of Man is on tomorrow. In the aquatics, we have Ciara Prentice in the women's 400-metre freestyle heats at 10:45 a.m. and then Jessica Lee in the women's singles round of 64 at the NEC at around 5:30 p.m. in the badminton. That's all from us here in Centenary Square. We'll catch you tomorrow. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.